Up and after it early on a Sunday morning, final weekend game before conference play. The California Baptist Lancers on the opposite coast, out of the WAC, rearing up, ready to battle the St. John's Red Storm in the third game of a three-game set at Jack Kaiser Stadium in Queens, New York. I'm Sam Cinder, happy to be with you. Very rare these two programs see each other. As a matter of fact, they had never occurred. They had never played each other prior to game one of this series on Friday. In the first two ever contests, they've gone the way of the California Baptist Lancers. A blowout win on Friday, a closer duel in yesterday's middle game. Pretty good starting pitching for the Johnnies in both games. Liam O'Leary, 5 innings, 4 runs. Same line for Evan Chafee yesterday, 5 innings, 4 runs. They trailed by 3 or less in both games, 4-3 California Baptist on Friday, 4-1 California Baptist on Saturday. Tough game for the bullpen on Friday. Really good in relief was Evan Heckley yesterday, but the Lancers were able to win both games 12-3 on Friday, 5-3 in yesterday's middle game. So the Johnnies will look to salvage the final game of the set, and they turn to Ian Moad, the 6'2 righty junior out of Murrieta, California, and it's an arm that a lot of these Lancers have actually seen before in high school and in travel ball and out of California. 22 2/3 this season, most work as a starter, 6 games. This is his 5th start of the year, 5.56 ERA, 15 Ks, but pretty good in terms of command, only 9 walks and only 1 home run allowed, so good keeping the ball in the ballpark. Here's the lineup that Moad will face off against. Chris Ramirez leads off. He's on a 9-game hitting streak, and the average just under 400. The first two Lancers, their average combined nearly 400. Cole Hansen hits second. Bryce McFeely, the right fielder, the graduate student, hits third. Castelli, Toth, and Ross, the middle third for the Lancers. Nathan Chavez, the freshman, the only freshman in the order. Cole Howarth, and then Matthew Blind, the bottom third for California Baptist. So here is Ramirez. And Moad's first. Ramirez swings at it and fouls it away. Can hear the clank off the bleachers. The sophomore shortstop hitting .378. 19 straight games he has reached. Moad deals high. Two and 1 on the Lancers leadoff man. So far this series, 4 for 10, has driven in a pair. Has driven in 21 on his season. And takes a close miss upstairs. Hitters count 3 and 1. 4 hitters in the California Baptist order with an OPS over 1,000. That is how strong their lineup is. Ramirez, foul tip on a 3-1 heater, and the count is full. Got to keep him off the base paths as well. The Lancers not just a power team. They steal a lot. The 3-2 outside. Leadoff walk worked by Ramirez, so he is aboard. This is a game where you'll see the Lancers throw what is in effect a bullpen game. The lefty Sam Burgess will start. We'll see him in the home half of the inning, but no pitcher, according to head coach Gary Adcock, will throw more than 40 pitches. So a lot of different arms, and they know in a situation like that, someone may not have it. They feel they're going to have to score a lot of runs to beat the Johnnies on this Sunday morning. Breaking ball strike to Cole Hansen. Hansen with a 5-hit game in the opener on Friday. Boosted his average all the way up to .430. The redshirt freshman catcher. Hansen with Ramirez off of first. Fouls it off. With Ramirez at first, you do have to be aware the stolen base has made it successfully 10 times this season. Hansen, the OPS, even better than Ramirez. 1,115. Moad's 0-2. Ramirez running. Strikes out Hansen. The throw down to second is not in time. Good fastball upstairs from Moad to record his first out. Ramirez slides into scoring position. This is a team in the Lancers that really dominate the WAC, the Western Athletic Conference. They walk a lot, they get on base, they hit for power, and they don't strike out despite Hansen's K. Fly ball high the other way and foul off the bat of McFeely. "6'2" graduate student out of Seattle. First year with the program after transferring from Division II Westmont. Moad ahead, comes home, misses low. Really terrific hitter in his 3 years with the Westmont Warriors. Last year, 56 games, hit .359 with 13 homers. And that has transferred over to Division I ball. .342 hitter with 7 long balls this year. Takes outside and is ahead 2-1. And that will prompt Adam Agresti out to the mound. Agresti behind the plate today, catching Moad. Rafe Stanger and Rob Mansour on the left side of the infield for the Johnnies. Aiden Frey shaded up the middle against McFeely is at second. Sean McMillan is the first baseman. Luis Rodriguez, John LeGrande, and Dylan Fitzsimmons left to right in the outfield. Moad behind, trying to keep the Lancers off the board in the first. His 2-1. Chopper up the middle, gloved by the second baseman Frey on the left side, throws to first. He got him. 2 down. Ramirez moves to third. It's an odd play. You would think it's the shortstop making the play in his position, but it was Frey ranging all the way past the second base bag. Want to know the count? 2-0. Moad deals. Rolled over to first. Handled by McMillan. He'll beat Castelli to the bag, and a 0 from Moad in the first against California Baptist. The Johnnies grab the sticks next. 0 in the first from Ian Moad. Here's the lineup that Mike Hampton throws out there in the finale. Very similar for the past couple of weeks, with senior John LeGrande leading off. He's on a 10-game hitting streak. Jader Rafestanger got an 8-game hitting streak of his own in the 2-hole. McMillan, who made the play at first and the top half of the inning, is in the 3 spot. Agresti behind the plate. Cowan in the 5-hole. Dylan Fitzsimmons hits 6th. The only freshman in the order. Fry, Mansour, and Rodriguez the bottom 3rd. Strike to LeGrande. 3 lefties, LeGrande one of them, hitting lefty-lefty against Sam Burgess. 1-1. Again, the word is that it's a bullpen day, so Burgess not expected to go very deep into this game. 11 2/3 worked so far this season over 9 games. Wave and a miss ahead of LeGrande 1-2. This is his second start. 4 earned runs, the ERA in a good spot at 3.09. Burgess is 1-2. Tapped foul. 16 Ks on his season, just 5 walks, so a good ratio there. And the message from Gary Adcock to his starter and the rest of the arms used today is, who can I trust moving into conference play? Going to throw a lot of guys that haven't had as much work so far this season and see who can attack the strike zone. And those are the guys that may get more work moving forward. LeGrande, high breaking ball, misses inside. And much like how Ramirez worked the count full in the top half of the inning, LeGrande has it full in the home half. The 3-2. Line drive, left field, sinking fast and making the play is Blind. Played shallow, it paid off as he's able to retire LeGrande for the first out. Brings up Rafestanger. The junior has hit safely in 8 straight games. Another lefty, the first 2 lefties for the Johnnies. Strike on the outside corner. St. John's got off to that 1-10 start, but they've battled back, 9-6 since. Adds up to a 10-16 record. Only one more non-conference ahead of Big East play for the Johnnies. Oh, 2 rolled over to first. It's a foul ball. On Tuesday, they'll take on Wagner. That's a home game. And then Big East play starts with Seton Hall on the road. A 3-game set, which starts on Thursday. A bit of an oddity. Thursday, off day Friday, then doubleheader Saturday. 0-2. 1-2. And because the series against Seton Hall starts a day earlier, it doesn't really change the pitching plan much, but does a little bit. Maybe guys throw a little less this series to prepare for that series against Seton Hall. Same situation for the Lancers of California Baptist. This is their final game before conference play. They'll take on Abilene Christian. He went around, says David Snyder at third. They'll complete the K at first. Rafestanger down swinging. David Snyder, our third base umpire. James Clayton at first. Scott Hart behind the plate calling the balls and strikes. Here's Sean McMillan. Has reached safely in 18 straight games. The Lancers shift a little bit on the infield. Playing McMillan to pull. He takes outside. Burgess is 1-0. Wave and a miss. It's 1-1. McMillan has the only extra base hit for St. John's this series, a homer in the opener. The Bats have gone through some ups and downs throughout the season. taking on yet another very difficult opponent. It's been a theme of this season for Hampton's squad. They've played a tough schedule. Cal Baptist, no exception. Two-two, McMillan. Line drive, couple hops fielded by Castelli at second. 1-2-3 first for Burgess. We're knotted up at 0, headed to the second. Both starters strong in the first. Ian Moad saw 4 walk the leadoff man, but retired the next 3 Lancers in order. Sees 5, 6, and 7 here in the second. Diesel Toth, first to hit against Moad, the freshman. You can look up and down this order, and you could say everyone's having a strong season. That is the case for the freshman Toth. Has walked more than he struck out, getting on base, has driven in 9, 5 for 8 this series as well. Moad comes home, misses outside with a breaking ball. One and one. Talked to St. John's head coach Mike Hampton prior to the series, and he stressed the culture of his team. They're a bunch of tough guys, Northeast guys. Strike at the knees to Toth, and Moad ahead. Moad not a Northeast guy, from California, but still he said most of the guys on the team being Northeast guys, the guys that come from outside the Northeast area just mold into the rest of the group. They identify with that toughness. They become Northeast guys. 1-2. Wave and a miss. Moad, second K. Punches out Toth. A lot of these guys in the California Baptist order have seen Moad before. Through the first 5 hitters, hasn't mattered much. Attacks Ross with a fastball in on the hands. It's foul. And that's been the culture at St. John's for quite a long time under Hampton. All the assistants for the Johnnies, former players. The theory is that the cold weather creates some of that toughness. They want guys that handle adversity. 1-1. Upstairs with a fastball. On the Lancer side, you still got tough guys. Gary Adcock making sure that 22 seasons there with the Lancers and on the hands, off the knob, 2-2. Moad. Breaking ball outside. Couldn't get the chase. It's a difficult situation for Adcock, who has built such a strong program, a team that dominates the WAC. Ross continues to battle. But it's hard to retain players. It's a issue that, regardless of sport, every smaller conference school has to deal with. And the way he's gone about that is he just wants guys that want to play for them, want to be with the Lancers. Another foul ball off the bat of Ross, an extended at bat here against Moad. Most wins in program history, longest tenured head coach in program history is Adcock. 8 conference titles. 3-2. Outside ball 4. Moad loses Ross. Second time he's walked a Lancer, and both times it's been on a fastball that missed ever so slightly outside. Not by much at all, so second base runner for CBU brings up Nathan Chavez. Inside, 1-0. Moad comes home, running is Ross. Throw down to second. Got him. Agresti catches a Lancer on the move. Caught stealing for the second out of the frame. Ground ball over to short. Mansour on to first. Moad sees the minimum in a scoreless second. Johnny's look to crack the scoreboard in the home half. Get used to a lot of this today. Just one inning for Sam Burgess. And Gary Adcock turns things over to the pen. We'll see a lot of relievers for the Lancers in this bullpen game. The second pitcher utilized, Ryan Palmer. The 6'4 righty out of Peoria, Arizona. Senior in his second season with the program. 22 innings of work, most of the time as a starter. This is his 8th game, had 5 starts. ERA at 5.32. Really good strikeout stuff. 30 Ks. That's 12.3 strikeouts per 9, but 11 walks. A tad too many. 3 long balls allowed. So look for him to provide maybe a little bit more length than Burgess did and prove to Adcock that he can handle some conference innings. Faces 8-9-1. Deep fly ball. It pushes Toth into the alley, but he's able to corral. Here's Will Cowan. Oh for 4 with a K this series. Just 10 games, had a late start to his season, made his debut against UAlbany. Swings at the first, comes up empty. .49 games, nearly a 300 hitter a season ago with the Red Storm. Cowan half swing. He went around. Oh, 2. Bounced in there. In Cowan's second game of his season, 2026 season, he homered against the UAlbany Great Danes. That was out to left field on a line. Here in a 1-2, hits a sharp fly ball into the left center alley, but making the running grab is Toth. He called off Blind, who looked like he was underneath it. A tougher play for the center fielder, but he was able to get there on the run for the second out. A pair of F8s in the second. Brings up the only freshman for the Johnnies in Fitzsimmons. Had such a strong start. Has tapered off a little since. Takes a strike. Off speed on the outside corner. Palmer. Low. Average has dropped to 238, but good to see all the playing time for Fitzsimmons, who finds himself in a 2-1 count. Getting on base a fair amount, stealing bases, contributing. In hitters count, Fitzsimmons, 3-1. A teammate of Luis Rodriguez in the Perfect Game Collegiate League last summer. So already familiar with some of the Johnny players and works his way on base. First base runner for the Red Storm. It's a walk to Fitzsimmons. Palmer issues the 2-out walk, brings up Aiden Fry. Fry punches it the other way and threw into right field, a base hit. First to third is Fitzsimmons. First hit for St. John's. And as the ball scoots away from Ross, Fry moves to second. So 2 in scoring position. And the Johnnies are set up with an opportunity to take the lead in the finale. Perfect example of using the whole field with Castelli, the Lancers' second baseman, shaded up the middle. He's still shaded up the middle for Mansour. Fitzsimmons at third, Fry at second, little 2-out rally for St. John's, and Palmer's first misses low. That hit for Fry, not just the first hit for the Johnnies, the first hit of the game. And a 1-0, Mansour watches it outside. And behind in the count 2-0, the infield, along with Gary Adcock, makes a trip to Palmer on the mound, aiming to settle down the right-hander, help him maneuver his way through the second inning, which started off so calmly with a couple of fly ball outs. But then he lost Fitzsimmons on a walk. Fry shot a single the other way, advanced to second on an error. And now there's a real situation in the second inning. Behind Mansour, 2-0. Rob, 1 for 7 so far this series, an even 200 hitter on his 2026 season in his first year at Division I with the Johnnies, a transfer from Colorado State Pueblo. It hits him. The 2-0 hits Mansour, and the bases are loaded. And Gary Adcock has seen enough. The biggest thing for him today was seeing which pitchers he could trust to throw strikes. Palmer could not after the first 2 outs of the second. Third pitcher the Johnnies will see makes his trip to the mound. St. John's with the bases loaded in the second. From 6'4" senior right-hander to 6'4" senior right-hander, Luis Becerra takes over for Ryan Palmer. Palmer got the first 2 outs of the second, but 3 straight have reached against him, and Gary Adcock made the move to the bullpen. Third Lancer on the mound today is Becerra out of San Leandro, California. In his 4th season with the Lancers, 14 2/3 of work so far this season, 8 games. This is his 9th, 6.14 the ERA, so he's been hit a little hard. Really good strikeout stuff, 22 Ks, that's 13.5 Ks per 9. But he has walked 9 hitters, so can struggle with the command. There's nowhere to put Rodriguez. Becerra's first. Rodriguez swings and taps it foul. Time in the California Collegiate League, the Alaska League. You'll see a lot of Lancers with time in the Alaska League, given Gary Adcock's time there as well. Ahead of Rodriguez, 0-1. Breaking ball finds the zone. Fitzsimmons at third, Fry at second, Mansour at first. Becerra's 0-2. Half swing, he did not go. Rodriguez alive. It's an electric fastball for Becerra. He uses it up in the zone, tries to get swing and miss. On a 1-2, the junior outfielder Rodriguez sees it outside. Two. Got him looking. Becerra escapes the jam, much to the delight of Ryan Palmer. St. John strands 3 at 0-0, headed to the third at Jack Kaiser Stadium. St. John's threatened in the home half of the second, but could not score. They stranded 3 after Rodriguez struck out looking, so Ian Moad will look to keep the Lancers off the board. He's done that successfully in each of the first 2 innings, has not allowed a hit. Just a couple base runners. They both came on walks, 1 in each frame. 8-9-1 for California Baptist in the third. Cole Hallworth leads off. Swings at the first, lines it into right, charging Fitzsimmons. He's able to get there. A 1-pitch out for Moad. So Ian is cruising, and that's exactly what Mike Hampton wants to see, attacking the zone. Even the walks, it's not as though he's missing by much. Both 3-2 walks. And attacks Blind with a first pitch strike. Matthew Blind, the left-handed outfielder for California Baptist. One and one. Moad comes home. Misses the outside corner with a breaking ball. Blind, you could say, has struggled a little bit. Less playing time than some of the other Lancers. Just 5 for 28. That's a 185 average. And just 2 extra base hits. Fouls it off. Count 2-2. Susceptible to the strikeout is Blind. Has fanned 9 times. Moad delivers. Outside. You commend Moad for the 1 pitch out of Haworth and for attacking the Lancers, but you got to attack Blind, the 9-hitter who has struggled. 3-2, Moad. Blind hits it sharply. His 6th hit of the season goes into right field. A 1-out single for Matthew Blind. First hit for California Baptist. Flips the lineup over to Chris Ramirez. Extended at bat for Ramirez his first time. He drew a walk. Would be stranded at third. Breaking ball, Ramirez hammers it deep down the left field line. It's hooking and it is foul. That ball carried. If it was fair, it may have been gone. Only 325 down each of the lines in left and right. Ramirez with 3 home runs so far this season. So has the power to leave the yard. Had a 2-homer game, actually, against Cal State Fullerton. WAC Freshman of the Year a season ago. All WAC first team. Defensive Player of the Year. Can do it all. The Lancer shortstop. Went first pitch swinging. What does he do on Moad's second? He swings and shoots it the other way. Will hang up for Fitzsimmons. 2 down in the third. Both flyouts have gone to Fitzsimmons this inning. Still got to be cautious of Blind. Both base runners that the Lancers have gotten aboard prior to Blind have gone. Ramirez was successful in his stolen attempt in the first. Ross was caught stealing in the second. Got to deal with Hansen. They'll check on Blind. He's quick to get back. Good lead for Blind. He's not going, and Hansen check swing foul ball. Cole Hansen. His sister is Kinsey, who used to play softball at Oklahoma. Oklahoma, one of the best softball programs historically in the country. Think about this. A 4-time national champion was Hansen with Oklahoma. Bounces away from Agresti, going to second. Blind. There will not be a throw. Wild pitch allows Blind to move into scoring position. That means you went 4 for 4 in national championships over your 4 years. And she was so good, she now plays professionally for the Oklahoma City Spark. Hansen pretty good in his own right. OPS well above 1,000. Hammers a ball into left field. Playing it there, Rodriguez. His throw to the plate. Sails up the line. California Baptist takes the lead in the third on the RBI single from Cole Hansen. Couple hits in the inning. The wild pitch comes back to bite Moad. Just bounced far enough away from Agresti. And that allowed Blind to move to second, was able to score on the single to left from Hansen. So here is McFeely, who grounded out to second his last time. Again, pretty aggressive shift by the Red Storm. Second baseman Fry on the left side of the second base bag. Mansour deep in the hole at short. 1-1. Ground ball, sliding stop by Rafestanger, goes to second the short way to force out Hansen and end the inning. But California Baptist strikes first, RBI single by Hansen. It's 1-0 Lancers as we head to the home half of the third. Second inning of work for Luis Becerra. Pitches with the lead this time around after California Baptist was able to make their way onto the scoreboard with the RBI single from Cole Hansen. It scored Matthew Blind. Second time through the order for St. John's. John Legrande leads off. 1-2-3. They'll look to respond against the righty Becerra. Down and in to Legrande. He lined out sharply to left his first time. Hits it sharply, pulled it foul. Trying to extend a 10-game hitting streak. And would love to work his way aboard. Has stolen 11 bags. Ahead 2-1. The wild pitch / stolen base helped out the Lancers. The Johnnies looking to do the same. They'll have Legrande aboard after he's hit by a breaking ball. You know for sure California Baptist and Becerra will be aware of Legrande. Their coaching staff, particularly Mike Mobbs, hitting coach for the Lancers, saw Legrande in the Cape. He's on the move. It's line to right. A base hit for Rafestanger. Because Legrande was on the move, it backfires. He didn't know where the ball was and could not go first to third. So he doesn't get a stolen base, and he doesn't go first to third. He only moves to second on the single to right by Rafestanger. He extends his 8-game hitting streak to 9. Corners come in for California Baptist with no one out. McMillan, the hitter. Hallworth and Ross in on the corners. Becerra comes home. McMillan takes low. The reason I say they're familiar with LeGrande is because there's a lot of ties between California Baptist and the Cape League, which ironically are on opposite sides of the country. Strike at the knees with the breaking ball. 1-1 on McMillan. They sort of say poached mobs from the Wareham Gatemen in the Cape League because they had a couple of their players, notably Chris Ramirez, on that team. And they were looking for, California Baptist was looking for a new hitting coach. Adcock was talking with Ramirez and he said, hey, my hitting coach in the Cape, Mike Mobbs, is really good. Why don't we bring him aboard? And that's exactly what they did. Couple on, McMillan takes a strike and is behind 1-2. So in addition to Mobbs, you've got Jordan Aboitis, who spent 4 years as assistant at Long Beach State, also in the Cape, an assistant with Yarmouth Dennis, the Red Sox. And you'll see a lot of these guys either came from one of those Cape teams to California Baptist or were on the Lancers and got work over the summer in the Cape or even the Alaska League. Head coach Gary Adcock spent time with the Peninsula Oilers. Head coach there in 1999 and 2000. It's still paying off for him. 26 years later, an assistant at UCLA and Purdue as well. Pick back to second, little timing play with Ramirez. LeGrande was on top of it, diving back. He's at second. Rafe Stanger singled. He's at first. Still no one out. Home half of the third. 3-2. On the way to McMillan. The runners move, and McMillan fouls it off. It looked as though it was inside. Would have been ball 4 and loaded the bases. Instead, they'll redo the 3-2. Both runners move back to first and second, respectively. They put him in motion on the last pitch. Does Hampton want his runners moving again? Becerra set. Inside move. They'll check on LeGrande again. Here's the payoff. McMillan up the middle, over the second base bag, glove by Castelli, steps on second for one, back to first, and a double play. Exactly what the Lancers and Becerra needed. You thought maybe could have had a fortuitous bounce for the Johnnies off the mound or maybe clipped the second base bag. Took a perfect bounce for Castelli. And just like that, a twin killing. To drown the threat. Still a runner at third and LeGrande with 2 down for Agresti. Swings at the first and comes up empty. So back-to-back 4 threes for McMillan on his card today. Agresti trying to pick up a clutch hit with a runner in scoring position, tie the game, possibly even put the Johnnies ahead. He is their power threat. 14 homers for St. John's this season. He has 9 of them. 9 of the 14. In a 1-1, Agresti takes a strike. Becerra Breaking ball outside. Hansen all over it behind the plate, making sure he keeps it in front to prevent Legrande from taking home on a wild one. 2-2, 2 down. Lancers trying to hold their 1-0 lead. Becerra freezes Agresti. Back-to-back innings where Becerra has frozen a Red Storm hitter to end the threat. The Johnnies strand another and trail 1-0 as we head to the fourth. One nothing California Baptist as we enter the middle innings at Jack Kaiser Stadium. The Lancers won, came last inning against Ian Moad, who has thrown the ball well but gave up a couple hits. In the top of the third, Cole Hansen had the RBI knock. 4, 5, and 6 due up to face him in the fourth. The Johnnies have threatened in each of the second and third, but have stranded a combined 4 runners, as Luis Becerra has been able to manage the threat and work his way out of trouble. Line drive snared by Mansour at short. Another quick at bat for Moad, who has worked well again and had a 1-pitch out to begin the third inning. This time a 2-pitch out to begin the fourth as he gets Castelli on a weak liner. Struck out Diesel Toth his last time. Misses with a slider outside to start him off the second time. There's a strike. 2 hits for each side. 1 apiece in the second and third for St. John's. Both came in the third for the Lancers of California Baptist. Toth ahead 2-1. Moad delivers. Hit on the ground. Over there, Rafe Stanger throws across the diamond. 2 up, 2 down for Moad in the fourth. Bullpen game for California Baptist. They've already thrown 3 arms. Only 1 arm has thrown more than an inning so far, and that is Becerra, who got the final out of the second and then through the entirety of the third. This game was started by Sam Burgess, who threw a clean 1-2-3 first. Inside to Ross. Moad walked Ross his last time. Moad, the starter for St. John's, is trying to complete his 4th inning of work and is knotted up in a 1-1 with Ross. Sharp fly ball. It chases Rodriguez back. It's over his head and bounds off the wall. Ross will pick up an extra base hit. He's into second with a 2-out double. First extra base hit today belongs to Connor Ross. It's the 5th extra base hit for the Lancers this series. All 5 have been doubles. St. John's with just 1 extra base hit. It was the solo homer for Sean McMillan in Game 1. At least a base run in all 4 innings for California Baptist. Matt Chavez, the hitter, will look to capitalize on Ross's double and takes a fastball for a strike. Gary Adcock has wandered out to home plate umpire Scott Hart, and he's going to make a change. They're going to pinch run for Ross, who just doubled. And at this point, it is a mystery man at second base. We'll call him number 37, and number 28, and Matt Chavez takes outside. Count even 1-1. Moad looking to work around the threat. Little flare the other way. It's a foul ball. One, two. Moad comes home. Chopped foul into the St. John's dugout. Righty-righty battle. Moad looking to strand a runner at second. And Chavez extends the at-bat with another foul ball. This one more hard hit along the third base line. One, two. Sent deep down the left field line. That's hooking at another foul ball that, if just 10 feet or so to the right, would have been a 2-run homer. Has already hit 3 this season, has Chavez, and driven in 9, looking to drive in his 10th run of the season. Hitting over 300 through 21 games. Chavez hits a ground ball. Rafe Stanger gloves at third. He bobbles for a second and won't throw to first. He gloved it cleanly but could not complete the transfer to the bare hand. So the error on Jader Rafe Stanger prolongs the inning for Moad, and runners on the corners for CBU. Mike Hampton is out. He's talking with Scott Hart. Peering into the Red Storm pen, there's no one throwing, and Moad has thrown well. So you can't expect there looking to take him out here. And what happened there was it was Hampton and Adcock, the two head coaches who are going after each other. They're yelling back and forth. So the two not best of friends at the moment, and you think it's about the pinch runner. Talking about not announcing whatever it was that Hampton went out to talk with Hart about, it certainly irked Adcock. Hallworth takes low. First time these two programs have met in a series. California Baptist won the first two games, 12-3 on Friday, 5-3 yesterday, so they've won the first series they've played. St. John's looking to take the finale, and Moad behind Hallworth 2-0. Ross at third. He doubled. This is all with 2 outs. Then the error on Rafe Stanger on the ground ball from Chavez. 3-0. Delayed steal from Chavez. Agresti does not throw. So now 2 in scoring position. First base is open. 3-0 the count on Hallworth. The Lancers threatening to put up a crooked number in the fourth. 3-0 pitch, Moad. Swinging is Hallworth. He popped it up. Foul ground. McMillan over. He doesn't have a play. It's got to be there, one pitch. And for Hallworth, that was his pitch. He missed it. Still in a hitter's count, 3-1. Takes inside. Ends up working the walk. It loads the bases for CBU. Blind, who singled his last time, one of 3 hits for the Lancers today, will hit with the bases juiced. And before he can do so, out comes Matt Silverman. He'll confer with Moad and the rest of the Johnnies infield. Big spot. St. John's has loaded the bases once today in the home half of the second, had first and second with no one out in the third. They failed to score both times, so really important that they keep California Baptist off the board in the fourth to keep the game right where it is with a 1-0 deficit. Long meeting. Scott Hart out to break it up. You really wonder what Adcock and Hampton were going back and forth about. A bit of an odd exchange and a pretty rare exchange between 2 longtime head coaches. First pitch breaking ball finds the zone against Blind. Jumped on a 3-2 pitch and singled to right his last time. That was an inning ago in the third. Upstairs, count even, 1-1. A line out and a ground out to third, the first 2 outs of this inning to the first two Lancers Moad saw in the fourth, but since then double, E5, walk, they're loaded, 1-1, 2-1 on Blind. Top of the order and sophomore stud Chris Ramirez awaiting. Blind lifts a fly ball to deep left center, backtracking Ramirez. He's able to get there. Rodriguez able to make the play for the final out. Moad able to strand. 3 Lancers keep the game 1-0, headed to the home half of the fourth. In a 1-0 game, California Baptist turns to the bullpen again. The fourth pitcher that they utilize is Cody Smathers, the 6'4" right-handed freshman out of Fontana, California. Has gotten good work in his freshman campaign, 13 1/3 innings. This is his 7th game. Has made 3 starts as well. The ERA at 5.4 with 20 Ks. Nearly every Lancers pitcher you'll see has excellent strikeout stuff. 13.5 Ks per 9 for Smathers, but too many walks, 9 walks. That's close to a walk per inning, and has given up 3 long balls. With a bullpen game, you'll see a lot of different arms. You never know which one the bats might like if you're the Johnnies. Smathers deals a first pitch breaking ball to Will Cowan, 5, 6, and 7. Against Smathers in the home half of the fourth. 1 run on the board. It came in the top of the third for the Lancers on the RBI single from Cole Hansen. Multiple scoring opportunities for both teams, but that's all that either side could scratch across. Smathers ahead, 0-2. Cowan goes down swinging. There's some of that strikeout stuff for Smathers. It was a really sharp breaking ball. It got Cowan. Here's Fitzsimmons, who drew a walk his last time. His walk was with 2 outs, and it was the catalyst for 3 straight Johnnies reaching. They loaded the bases but could not score. One and one on Fitzsimmons. Becerra threw the ball really well. Again, the mindset for Gary Adcock, with them not throwing their ace this weekend, is seeing which pitchers will gain his trust and will be able to throw meaningful conference games. conference play starting for them in their following game against Abilene Christian after this game concludes. 2-1, Fitzsimmons. Ground ball up the middle and through. 1-out single for the freshman. Third hit for St. John's, both sides with 3 hits. California Baptist has made theirs count just a little more, 1 run more to be exact, but the Johnnies looking to get to Smathers in the 4th. Here's Aiden Fry, who has one of those 3 hits. He singled his last time. After Fitzsimmons' walk, he singled in the first pitch the other way. That same hole is open for him here. Breaking ball misses outside. Had 3 reach in the second, could not score. 2 reach in the third, could not score. Becerra worked around both jams. Can Smathers work around this one? Couple picks consecutively to first. Can do it as many times as he would like. It's not the Major League rule where there's a pickoff limit. He'll do it a 3rd time. He could not get him, and the Lancers dugout in awe. The quick pick had Fitzsimmons late getting back. But his slide worked around the tag of Hallworth at first. Still over there in a 1-0. They'll go back to first again. That's the 4th pickoff in this at-bat, which has seen just 1 pitch to Fry. And again, it's perfectly legal. It's good work by Smathers trying to limit the running and keep control of the running game. Fry lifts a fly ball in play. Behind the plate, foul ground, and Ross could not make the catch. So second life for Aiden Fry. That was playable. It landed beside the St. John's dugout along the third base line. New in Major League Baseball this year, obviously you've had the challenge system in place before, but the ABS automatic ball strike system in place this year. Teams are utilizing it, trying to find strategic advantages with it. Another pick to first. This time he comes home. It's a pickoff. It's a pitch out, and they went back to first. Did Hansen. Fitzsimmons very aware over there. With a 1-run lead, they are concerned that Fitzsimmons will try to go. He's not going here, and the pitch is a strike at the knees to even the count up at 2-2 on Fry. Fitzsimmons has gone 5 times. He's not going again. He bluffed it. And the bluff was good enough to make Hallworth shout out he's going. It affected the pitch of Smathers. Got Hansen out of his crouch. It was a ball upstairs, and the count is full at 3-2. Now on a 3-2, he is not going again, but Fry chased a pitch outside. He strikes out for the second out of the 4th. It'll take a 2-out rally. Mansour was hit by a pitch his last time a couple innings ago. That was the final pitch that Ryan Palmer threw today. The workload for the Lancers has looked as follows. Sam Burgess started the game through a clean inning. Palmer was tasked with the second, but could only get 2 outs, the first 2 men he saw, then allowed 3 straight to reach. Hit Mansoor. Luis Becerra replaced him through an inning and a third, and Smathers has taken over in the fourth, trying to deal another scoreless inning, and ahead of Mansoor 0-1. Now with 2 down, will Fitzsimmons want to go and get into scoring position? They check on him again. Upstairs. Another check on Fitzsimmons. This is what it used to be like. This is what pitching was about. Controlling the running game. Major League Baseball wanted to see more action, more stolen bases. So they made the rule change, but the essence of baseball is all about this. What Smathers is doing right now, and he's doing a really great job of controlling Fitzsimmons at first and still dealing to Mansoor and the rest of the St. John's hitters at the plate. Ahead of the Red Storm shortstop, 1-2. Goes back to first again. Smathers comes home. Mansoor went around, says James Clayton at first. Another strikeout to end an inning. This time Smathers gets Mansoor. Scoreless for him. 4 scoreless for California Baptist pitching. It's 1-0 Lancers. Four innings of work for Ian Moat. Threw the ball really well. He's given the Johnnies a chance. They trail 1-0 as they bring in Jack Nessler, who deals a first pitch breaking ball, just misses the outside corner. It's 1-0. Top of the order for the third time today for California Baptist. Chris Ramirez, Cole Hansen, and Bryce McFeely. Ramirez shoots a ball into left field. Rodriguez was back, ranges over, reaches up and makes the grab. Thought he might have misplayed it for a second, took a shallow route to that ball, but his size was able to extend and make the catch to retire Ramirez. Really good bounce back start for Moad. Keep in mind, last time he threw was against UT Arlington, and he really struggled. Fly ball, right center gap, that's down into the alley for Hansen. LeGrande quick to get to it, holds Hansen to a single, his second hit of the game. Against UT Arlington last Sunday, Ian Moad could only complete an inning. An inning, 5 hits, 5 runs, walked a batter. So against a very competitive team in California Baptist, he threw the ball well today and hands it off to Nessler. Breaking ball strike. Ahead of McFeely. Nessler, a freshman, 6 foot, out of Connecticut, 15 1/3 so far this season for the Johnnies, all in relief, and has thrown really well. Couple looks to first. Nessler bends a breaking ball, couldn't quite catch the top of the zone. 3.52 is the ERA. 8 Ks, 8 walks, so the ratio even there. You could say not enough Ks and maybe too many walks. But keeping runs off the board, that's all that matters as he misses far inside to McFeely. Sends him down to the ground. Got the fly out, hard hit fly out of Ramirez. Then Hansen, single to right. That guy hits everyone though. His average close to 500. Straight back to the screen, foul ball for McFeely. He's bounced out on the ground twice today. First time to Fry at second time a fielder's choice. Rafe Stanger went to Fry. Nessler would love a ground ball here. St. John's shifted on the left side. It's lined sharply and foul over the head of Rafe Stanger at third. Fry, the second baseman, once again shaded to the left side of the second base bag. No one on the right side, with the exception of McMillan at first. Nessler freezes McFeely. Third strikeout for St. John's pitching. Moad had a couple of Ks. That's Nessler's first. Here's the left-handed bat of Castelli. Wicked changeup. Castelli swings through it. 0 for 2 today. He grounded out to first. He lined out softly to short. 1-1. Nessler heaves. Another ground ball. Going to be a tough play on the right side. Diving is Fry. It's off his glove and into right field. 2-out single for Ben Castelli. Hansen moves to second. The bats for CBU heating up over the past 3 frames. Had 2 hits in the third, a double in the fourth, now a couple of singles in the fifth. Up to the freshman Diesel Toth to capitalize. He takes a fastball strike. Couple on. Nessler looks back to second, comes home, misses far outside. Agresti good to keep it in front. Has reached base safely in 13 straight, but 0 for 2 today. A strikeout and a ground out for Toth. Lines it over the head of Mansour into left field. Rodriguez keeps it in front, throws to the plate. It's cut off. Make it 14 straight and an RBI single for Toth. CBU doubles their lead. It's 2-0. Wave and a miss. 0-1. Oh and 2. The good news for Johnny pitching is they're keeping it to single bases. Throw to third. Agresti catches Castelli stealing. 2 caught stealings for him. It keeps St. John's out of what could have been a more troubling fifth. 2-0 the score halfway home at Jack Kaiser Stadium. Two 2-0 California Baptist added a run in the top half of the inning on the RBI single from Diesel Toth. Couple RBI singles, the scoring in the game. The other one an RBI knock from Cole Hansen in the third. The Johnnies look to respond in the home half of the fifth against the new relief arm in Carson Olson. Rodriguez squared to Bunny, took a strike. 9-1-2 for the Red Storm. Rodriguez struck out looking his last time. Came with the bases loaded in the second against Luis Becerra. Trying to get aboard. Jumpstart our rally. 1-1. 2-1. The Johnny offense has been quiet. Just 3 runs in each of the 2 games thus far this series. 3-1. You never know when you find a new arm who might not have it command-wise or missing too much over the plate. That's always the concern. Today it's on the California Baptist side. Rodriguez tossed the bat away, thought it was ball 4. A late strike call on a pitch on the inner half from Scott Hart. And the count is full 3-2, and you're never going to make any friends doing that. He'll have to lock back in for the 3-2 from Olson. Rodriguez chops it foul. Olson, a 23-year-old senior, 6'5", big, tall right-hander in his third season with the Lancers. All his work in relief. His 3-2, Rodriguez lines into center, a base hit and a leadoff man aboard for St. John's. And a base runner with speed, and a hitter at the plate with a lot of speed, and John LeGrande. ERA a little inflated this year compared to last for Olson, who had a 1.08 ERA 2025. Just one earned run this season at 5.11. LeGrande squares to Bunny, gets it down. Going to be a tough play with his speed, but it cues foul. What a smart play at third from Connor Ross. And Cole Hansen behind the plate. They knew they'd have no chance at first. They let it roll foul. Rodriguez has to go back to first, and LeGrande has to make his way back to the plate. Olson comes home. Rodriguez not going the pitch outside. Despite the inflated ERA, the strikeouts, and I feel like a broken record with all of these Lancer arms, he's got a lot of Ks. 24 Ks. That's nearly 18 Ks per nine. The exact number 17.5. So he strikes out a lot of hitters. Ahead of LeGrande 1 and 2 with a sharp breaking ball. California Baptist as a staff strikes out an incredible amount of hitters. Nearly 12 Ks per nine on average as a staff. That's 97 more than the next closest team in the WAC. LeGrande swings through a fastball. He strikes out swinging. At least one Johnny has struck out in every inning. It's hard to string together hits and put up crooked numbers when that's the case. Rafe Stanger takes down an in. He has one of the St. John's 4 hits today, a single his last time up in the third. Extended his hitting streak to 9. They'll check on Rodriguez at first. Smathers was insistent on checking on Fitzsimmons last inning, but that was when the game was 1-0. You wonder if they're a little less concerned about Rodriguez in a 2-0 game. He's not going. Rafe Stanger shoots it foul. A lot of strikeouts for Lancer pitching today. The strikeout of LeGrande, the 7th, through 4 1/3. 1-1. Rafe Stanger. Rodriguez running. The pitch is low. Throw down to second is not in time. A stolen base for Luis Rodriguez. He's into scoring position. And the other thing that does is it ensures that Rafe Stanger can't ground into a traditional double play. Shift on. Takes a breaking ball strike. Now California Baptist goes into that exaggerated shift with second baseman Castelli on the right field turf. Shortstop Ramirez shaded up the middle. Rafe Stanger the other way. It's foul. He's got a hole in the shortstop side. One down, home half of the fifth. California Baptist leads 2-0. 2-2 coming. Rafe Stanger down and in, and it's full. After Rafe Stanger, it's Sean McMillan. Agresti follows him. Olsen set. Comes home with a 3-2. Rafe Stanger gets a piece. Another foul ball. Rafe Stanger continues to spoil and extend the at-bat. The Massachusetts native, with 7 multi-hit games so far this season, another could bring in the first St. John's run today. Rafe Stanger takes upstairs. Earns the walk, and St. John's has runners at first and second. Brings up Sean McMillan, who is in the midst of an 18-game on-base streak, has yet to reach today. 0 for 2, a couple ground outs to second. McMillan takes outside. Just recently had his 15-game hitting streak broken up. Has already hit safely in the last 2, so he's hit safely in 17 of his last 18. With Rodriguez at second and Rafe Stanger at first, it gets by Hansen. Both runners advance. It's a huge wild pitch, and the infield converges on Olsen. Productive out would put the Johnnies on the board. A base hit would likely tie the game at 2. First base is open, but if you're Olsen, you're not sure. You would rather face Agresti, who is the power threat, has launched 9 long balls this season. McMillan tough in his own right, ahead 2-0. Takes a sharp breaking ball for a strike. Olsen delivers the 2-1. McMillan pops it up and out of play. So after falling behind 2-0, he's battled back, has even the count up at 2-2. in search of a strikeout of McMillan. Olsen has it spoiled foul. Extended at bat. The sophomore first baseman McMillan goes down swinging. The strikeouts have simply killed the Johnnies. The 8th punch out. And now with first base open and 2 down, they don't need to face Agresti. They'll intentionally walk the power threat. An IBB to load the bases. Will Cowan, what are you going to do about it? Had a chance for a productive out to get him on the board. Instead, it now requires a hit. And with the bases loaded, a hit would likely tie the game, may give the Johnnies the lead. Will Cowan, the hitter who's 0 for 2, struck out his last time, swings at the first, swings through a fastball. Cowan, who was so good last year, nearly a 300 hitter, has struggled this year. The average down below $150. And is behind Olsen 0-2. Just 1 extra base hit, just 6 driven in, but in a golden opportunity right here in the home half of the 5th to bring the Johnnies back. Cowan sees it outside. And after Olsen pulled a fastball, hustling out to the mound, Adcock to talk things through with the righty. Very brief conversation. Couldn't have been more than a sentence. A strong statement to urge on the 6'5" righty, propel him through the 5th. It would be the 2nd inning out of the last 3 if he could retire Cowan that they would have stranded the bases loaded. It's exactly what happens. Olsen strikes out Cowan, foul tip hung on to by Hansen. 3 more stranded for the Johnnies and a 2-0 lead for Cal Baptist entering the 6th. It is the LOB column that will stand out if this game does not swing the way of St. John's. Over the past 4 innings, 8 runners stranded. 2 innings where they stranded the bases loaded, have not had the big hit in a situation where they've needed it against California Baptist pitching. They will rely on Jack Nestler to keep the game where it is Facing 6, 7, and 8. First pitch strike to Samuel Lopez. The lefty pinch ran for Connor Ross. After Ross's double an inning ago, 2 innings ago, this is his first at bat of the game and finds himself in a 1-1 count. Behind 1-2. Half swing, he did not go. Lopez down swinging. K for Nestler. His second in an inning and a third thus far. This was a game started by Ian Moad, who threw the ball very well. A nice bounce back start for him. 4 innings of work. Allowed just 3 hits and 1 earned run. Passed the baton on to Nestler last inning. Foul tip off the bat of Chavez. And Nestler has kept it rolling for St. John's on the mound. You had a feeling maybe the offense would be a tick down this series, given the weather, the conditions. Was asking Gary Adcock earlier, why is it that hitters don't like hitting in the cold other than it's just uncomfortable? Fly ball right side and out of play. The first reason is just that the ball doesn't fly as much. You're not going to get as many fly balls to leave the yard or find the alley. They're going to hang up for those outfielders. Makes it a pitcher's environment. 0-2. 1 hopper fielded by Mansour. Goes on to first to retire Chavez. The other reason is, especially if you're a California hitter used to the warm weather, it just doesn't feel the same on your hands. It's uncomfortable. Hitters just don't like to hit in it. 1-0, Nestler deals a strike. Had a string of 9+ runs in 6 straight games that went into Friday's game where California Baptist scored 12. That ended yesterday. Still won the game, though, 5-3 over the Johnnies. One-two, Nestler. Got him looking. 2 Ks and a scoreless 6th for Jack Nestler. The Johnnies looking for runs, trying to crack the scoreboard in the home half. Another inning, another California Baptist arm. This time it's Andrew Rudd. He takes on 6, 7, and 8. In the St. John's order, leading by 2 are the Lancers. They got one in the top of the third, one in the top of the fifth. 2 RBI singles, one from Cole Hansen, the other from Diesel Toth. Bullpen game. The latest arm being Rudd, who is a 6'5 junior. Keep feeling like I'm repeating myself. Nearly all these arms identical size-wise and stuff-wise. There's the big breaking ball. It misses downstairs. The message, who can throw strikes, who can I trust? From Gary Adcock. So far, he can trust really all the arms he's utilized, maybe with the exception of Palmer, who could not complete his inning, the second. But everyone else, very sharp in their inning of work, including Rudd, who strikes out Fitzsimmons. Check this out. So, St. John's has not had an in-play out offensively since Sean McMillan's ground ball double play in the third. The last 8 outs for St. John's have been strikeouts. Ground ball foul. It's 1-1 on Fry. Cody Smathers and Carson Olson, who pitched the 4th and 5th respectively, struck out 3 in each of their innings. Foul tip 1 and 2, and Rudd appearing like he's closing in on another K. If you look at the numbers for Rudd, you're saying, Gary Adcock, I want guys that throw strikes. Well, no one does that better than Andrew Rudd, both this season and in seasons past. 14 and a third this season, 9 games, 1 save, 3.77 ERA, which is very good. But 17 K, so good strikeout stuff. More than a strikeout per inning, more than 9 per 9. But only 1 walk. 1 walk. You know what the walks per 9 is there? 0.6 walks per 9. 3-2 the count on Fry. Got him swinging. 9 straight outs via the strikeout for California Baptist pitching. And 11 Ks for the game. Mansour takes a strike. So what was the number for Rudd last year, which is still a great year? ERA was good, started some games. A lot more innings of work last season. Another breaking ball finds the zone. 67 in the third innings. 55 Ks, so the strikeout stuff a little down as a starter, but just 1.5 walks per 9. How about trimming that down? Nearly a walk to the 0.6 number this season. Incredible from him. Had time in the Alaska League. That's the league where Coach Adcock used to manage. Spikes a breaking ball, 1 and 2, the count on Mansour. We are currently in the home half of the 6th, and every St. John's hitter has struck out at least once. 1-2. Downstairs. With all the various pitchers not knowing who would have their stuff, Adcock thought his team would have to score a lot. The pitchers have been on. That one is in play. The strikeout reign is over, but the outs reign is not. For Lancer pitching, a 5-3 putout, a 1-2 3/6 for Andrew Rudd. Still 2-0 Lancers. A pitcher's duel, if you will, between the St. John's couple arms of Ian Moad and Jack Nestler, who took over in relief, and the bullpen staff of California Baptist. 6 arms utilized. They have not allowed a run. They've allowed just 4 hits. But the St. John's arms have thrown the ball well and have kept them in the game. Here's Nestler trying to complete another inning of work. He starts Blind off with a ball outside. 9-1-2 for CBU in the 7th. Blind pops it up. Foul ground. Over is Rodriguez. Does he have a play? He does not. Running into the sidewall. Blind 1 for 2. Singled in the 3rd. He flew out to right in the 4th. 6 hits for California Baptist. 1-2 the count. Nestler offers. Sharp line drive. It's foul. Rubbing off those hands with the cold weather may sting a little bit, but Gary Adcock said it's deceptively cold. That's the terminology he used. The sun is shining. You would think it's warmer than it is. It is cold. He said it's colder than what they experienced at BYU in the snowstorm. Blind lifts a fly ball. LeGrande calls off Fitzsimmons and makes the play. The Northeast colder than the snowstorm of Colorado. Or Utah. Idaho. Of Idaho. Ground ball, chance for Mansour at short. 1 pitch out of Ramirez. They've done well with the sophomore today, who is in danger of having his 9-game hitting streak snapped. He did reach base to extend his on-base streak to 20 games. But St. John's pitchers have held him 0 for 3 with a walk today. Fouled off the bat of Hansen. Hansen's had the best day of any Lancer hitter. He is 2 for 3. Couple of singles. Had an RBI in the 3rd, scored in the 5th, so are responsible for both CBU runs. Swings through a fastball. Nestler continues to attack the zone and is ahead of Hansen 0-2. Keeping his team in it. Nestler. Ground ball up the middle. That sneaks through into center field. 3-hit game for Cole Hansen. His average continues to rise. Came into the game hitting .430. Soon enough, maybe a 500 hitter, which is absurd at this level. Despite the zeros that the Johnny pitchers have been putting up, they've only gotten CBU down in order 1 inning. It was Nestler's 6th inning. Could not do it in back-to-back. Has to deal with Hansen at first. Ahead of McFeely 0-1. Nestler deals. McFeely lifts a fly ball. Right center. LeGrande a few steps into the alley. Makes the grab. Another 0 from Jack Nestler. 2-0 CBU as we stretch at Jack Kaiser Stadium. The Johnnies looking for runs. They trail by 2 in the home half of the 7th. For the first time today, a California Baptist arm will try to complete more than an inning of work. Andrew Rudd, who was so efficient in the 6th, aims to complete the 7th. Squaring to bunt. Rodriguez, he takes the ball. Luis Rodriguez 1 for 2. He singled to lead off the 5th, made it as far as 3rd before being stranded. St. John's has stranded 8 men on base. Rodriguez, the other way, a little looping fly ball, charging and sliding and making the grab. McFeely and right. It's been the left on base and it's been the strikeouts that have really haunted St. John's. They've struck out 11 times to California Baptist pitching. LeGrande hammers a line drive into left center. That's down. He's got a ton of speed, but will put on the brakes at first. 1-out single for John LeGrande extends his hitting streak to 11 games. And only down 2-0, any base runner brings the tying run to the plate. That's what happens here with Rafe Stanger. Jader has 1 homer this season, 5 extra base hits, trying to chip into the 2-run deficit. He takes a breaking ball low. That hit for LeGrande, the first hit since Rodriguez's single, which led off the 5th. Speed on the bases. Rafe Stanger has reached his last 2 times. There goes LeGrande, pitch up and away, throw down to second, is in time. He's tapping his head, he can't believe it. He thinks he was safe, but you can't challenge. And just like that, the 1-out base runner erased on the caught stealing. Not often that LeGrande is caught. He was caught there. Two 2-0 the count on Rafe Stanger. You have to question it, even with LeGrande's speed, given it being a 2-run deficit for St. John's with the tying run on base and their struggle to get base runners or things going offensively. He did not represent the tying run. Rafe Stanger, fly ball, easy for Toth in center. He makes the play, and Rudd sees the minimum in the 7th despite the single from LeGrande. Still 2-0 California Baptist. Dylan Johnson takes over on the mound for Jack Nestler, who provided great relief for St. John's today. 3 innings of 1-run ball. Did not walk a batter and struck out 3. They turned to the redshirt senior in Johnson to keep this game where it is. A 2-0 California Baptist lead. 4, 5, and 6 for the Lancers in the 8th. Johnson's first is fouled off the other way by Castelli. 22-year-old, 13 and a third innings so far this season. 7 games, has picked up 2 saves. 4.73 the ERA. Not a ton of strikeout stuff. Just 8 Ks. But really good about throwing strikes. Has walked just 3 hitters all season, has Johnson. His 0-1 is down and in. He has evolved as a pitcher over time. Was a starter his first year, his freshman year with the Red Storm. Started 9 games. Over 50 innings of work. But had Tommy John the season after. Fly ball left field. Rodriguez racing back to the track. He looks up, and it's gone for Castelli. Solo homer for Ben Castelli. An insurance run for the Lancers in the 8th. It's 3-0 California Baptist. The home run ball has been an issue for Johnson. That's his 3rd he's given up this season. 3 of the 16 that the team has allowed. In a tight ball game like this one, every run's so critical. That's a big run with 6 outs to play with. Had that Tommy John surgery in 2023, and ever since returning to the team in 24, 25, and this season has done the majority of his work in relief. Deals a strike on the inner part to Toth. A good sign this season compared to last is that he walked more than he struck out in 2025. Had a very inflated ERA. That has been corrected so far in 2026. ERA down, more strikeouts than walks, but misses outside to Toth and has fallen behind the freshman 3-1. There's a strike. Other way, a sharp line drive, foul ball into that corner in right field. Not a lot of room in foul territory, but it did find the right side of that foul line. Johnson, set at the belt, comes home with a 3-2. Hit right back where it came from, up the box and into center field. Back-to-back hits for CBU off Johnson in the 8th. A single for Toth, and he's aboard with no one down. Left-handed swinging Lopez. Squares to Bunny, takes outside, charging at third, Rafe Stanger. Shift on for the lefty with Mansour, shaded up the middle at short. Short lead for Toth at first. Johnson delivers, squaring again. Lopez, he gets it down along the first base line, but it rolls foul. If you're looking ahead for St. John's in search of 3 runs or possibly even more, they'll have 3, 4, and 5 due up in the home half of the 8th. You never know when you're going to find the relief arm that doesn't quite have it. So far, every Lancer arm has had it today on this Sunday. Squaring again, Lopez. He takes outside. Toth, the runner at first. He's squaring before Johnson's even set. The infield charging. Lopez takes a strike. The count 2-2. We'll see if the bunt stays on with 2 strikes. The Johnnies don't think so. Fry is back near the outfield turf on the right side. Rafe Stanger stays in at third. He's squaring again before Johnson's even set. Here's the righties 2-2. He does bunt. He gets it down in play. A good bunt from Lopez. Johnson takes the out at first, moving to second. Toth. So a lot of confidence from Gary Adcock in Samuel Lopez to get the bunt down with 2 strikes. He does get it down, and it moves Toth into scoring position. Matt Chavez is 0 for 3, did reach on an error. Foul tip, got a good piece of Agresti, the count 0-1. Chilly Sunday. Early start time, 11 a.m. Eastern time. CBU ready to head back out west after this one. Take on Abilene Christian in Texas. 0-2. Johnson looks back. Toth comes home. Chopper in play, gloved on the backhand by Rafe Stanger. Throws across the diamond to first. It's not in time. Infield single for Matt Chavez. There was a slight, ever so slight hesitation by Rafe Stanger at third, which was all Chavez needed to beat it out on the back end. Third hit of the inning, and here comes Mike Hampton out to the mound to take the ball from Dylan Johnson, who could only retire 1 batter, and a batter that gifted him out in Lopez, who placed the sac bunt. Johnson departs. In comes a new St. John's arm, trying to keep the game where it is. Tyler Longoria takes over, inherits runners at first and second and one down. In the top of the 8th with California Baptist leading 3-0, trying to keep the game where it is. Against the pinch hitter, the Lancers go with the left-handed swinging Carter Eberhard. Longoria looks to second, comes home, and misses low. Already tacked on an insurance run in the inning on the leadoff homer from Ben Castelli against Dylan Johnson. 2-0. Longoria so far this season, 7 innings of work in 6 games. This is a big spot. And Eberhard shoots a single into right field. Playing it, Fitzsimmons, his throw to the plate is late. RBI single for Eberhard. Pinch hit knock for him. 4 hits in the inning for the Lancers. And it's a 4-run advantage. Another pinch hitter, it's Ryder Dykstra. The freshman has seen a lot of playing time this year and picks up an at-bat here with a runner in scoring position, 2 aboard. Against Longoria, who has an inflated ERA over a small sample size, Dykstra fouls it away. Does the last name sound familiar? It probably should. His uncle, Lenny Dykstra, of course with the Mets and Phillies. 1-1, 2-1. The freshman has hit so well, like many Lancers this season, over 18 games, just under a 400 hitter. A 395 hitter. Not a ton of power, just 3 extra base hits. They've all been doubles, but he gets on base. Does the 6-foot freshman outfielder. Lofts a fly ball into left field. Rodriguez near the line. In fair territory makes the grab for out number 2. The 7th man hit this inning is Chris Ramirez, who has been held hitless. A very difficult task, but St. John's pitchers have been up to it. Came in with a 9-game hitting streak. Walked in the first. Couple flyouts and a ground out since. Couple insurance runs in the inning for California Baptist. Stretched their 2-0 lead to 4-0. Looking for more. Ramirez takes a strike. One and one. Longoria, the right-hander set. Sharp raking ball, but it missed outside, and he's behind Ramirez 2-1. The hits have ballooned down the stretch for California Baptist up to 11 in the game. Just 5 for the Johnnies. Longoria trying to strand a couple, comes home, and it's fouled off the mask of Agresti behind the plate. Two. Longoria. Ramirez spoils. Fifth time through the order. First time for Ramirez seeing a guy not named Moad or Nestler. He gets Longoria with a couple runners on. The sophomore shortstop takes downstairs and the count is full. With a 3-2 count and 2 down, both runners, Chavez at second and Eberhard at first, will be on the move on the pitch. Longoria said he comes home. Ramirez fouls it away. Another 3-2. Ramirez takes upstairs. Longoria loses him. He loads the bases. Probably to the worst man you could face in the Lancer order, and Hansen, who already has a 3-hit game. A hit machine is Hansen. And a hit would drive in a pair for CBU. Had a 5-hit game in the opener. 7 hits so far this series. Hansen takes outside. A lineage of great collegiate catchers. Hansen and his sister Kinsey, both excelling at the college level, and he lifts a fly ball to deep right field. Fitzsimmons over, and foul ground is able to make the play. Longoria retires Hansen, strands 3 Lancers, keeps the game 4-0. St. John's in search of runs in the home half. It does not get easier for St. John's. The seventh pitcher utilized by Gary Adcock is Michael Malky. And this is not your normal relief arm in a bullpen game. This is their ace, who's just getting work down the stretch ahead of conference play. They didn't want him to start this week because of the short week next week where they take on Abilene Christian on Thursday as opposed to Friday. But he gets work here and deals a sharp breaking ball for a strike to Sean McMillan. 3, 4, and 5 in the Red Storm order. Got 6 outs to work with, trailing by 4. 0-2. Sophomore out of Corona, California. Malky. K's McMillan. That breaking ball is filthy. And McMillan is just the latest victim. 30 1/3 innings of work. This is his 9th game. Not a start. He started 7 games so far this season. 2.67 ERA. That is really incredible with 47 strikeouts. Yes, in the 30 1/3 innings. So that's nearly 15 Ks per 9 as a starting pitcher. Tapped foul off the bat of Agresti. Cape Cod experience was with Yarmouth Dennis last summer, just 3 2/3, 1 game, but Alaska League time with the Matsu Miners. Had a 1.2 ERA in the Alaska League. Agresti the other way. He gets a base hit off Malky. Agresti, opposite field knock. His first hit of the game and extends his on-base streak to 22 games, which he extended with the intentional free pass he received in the 5th. Trying to start something down 4. Here's Will Cowan. Squares to bunt, he takes the strike. Something about the Alaska League that was pretty funny talking with Gary Adcock prior to the game. He knows that league. He's been about that league. He says it's really beautiful. You get to go out to Alaska. It's outdoors. Can do a lot of fishing out there. But one of the major benefits to the league is when you send your guys there, because sometimes they were able to take on Mike Mobbs from the Cape. You can snipe and recruit certain guys, and it's part of the deal. You get some of your guys taken away from you when they go to these leagues by other schools, some bigger power conference schools. Malky spikes a pitch into the turf and gets all the way to the backstop. Pretty rare to see from him, and Agresti moves to second. But with the Northwoods, with some of the continental leagues like the West Coast League and the Prospect even, but especially the Cape, those guys get a lot of exposure. Foul tip off of Cowan's bat. It's 2-2. Not as much exposure in the Alaska League because most guys don't want to fly out to Alaska to scout college players. So you can hide some guys over there while still getting work. Tough to hide Malky. Went to the Cape. Showed off his great stuff. Second K of the inning. Freezes Cowan. Real 12-6 breaking ball that he features. But the idea is, the term he used was some bug spray. You can use some bug spray in the Alaska League and shield guys. Some guys, that bug spray is just not enough. But they were able to retain Malky. And fortunately so, he's been their ace. He continues to throw sharply, even in relief, getting his work in this 4-0 game. Malky's 0-2. Got him looking. 3 Ks in a scoreless 8th for the Lancer Ace. CBU up by 4. Four 0 California Baptist, top of the 9th inning. Tyler Longoria back out there for the Johnnies. 1 run in the top of the 3rd for CBU, 1 run in the top of the 5th, and 2 in the top of the 8th. RBI knock for Cole Hansen, RBI knock for Diesel Toth, and then a solo homer for Ben Castelli, and an RBI single for Carter Eberhard. That's all the scoring. The only man not to hit in the 8th was Bryce McFeely. He swings at the first pitch and flies out to LeGrande in center. The lefty Castelli hit his home run the other way. A ball that kept carrying out to left field. And before he hits here, Agresti will want to talk things over with Longoria. The homer came against Dylan Johnson. He allowed a pair of runs in a third of an inning, and then Longoria got the final 2 outs of the 8th. Strike on the inside corner to Castelli. The homer in the 8th inning, his 6th of the season, having a strong year. One. Other way, this time it's foul. One and two the count. Longoria comes home and misses outside. After this one, St. John's takes on Wagner in the midweek before Big East play starts with Seton Hall. CBU gets Abilene Christian. Midweek with Long Beach State, and then UT Arlington at home. Longoria punches out Castelli. Here's the freshman Diesel Toth, who is responsible for half of the runs. Sends a fly ball into right. Making the shoestring grab is Fitzsimmons. 1-2-3 ninth for Tyler Longoria. St. John's in search of 4 in the home half of the ninth. Last chance for St. John's in the bottom of the ninth. They don't have to see Michael Malky anymore, but they do have to see the freshman arm, the 8th pitcher utilized by Gary Adcock, John Carlson. He's pitched in 6 games, 8 innings of work, 3 hits, and has not allowed a run. Struck out 10 hitters. Bottom third of the Red Storm order. And Carlson misses upstairs to Aiden Fry. The Johnnies in danger of being shut out for the 3rd time this season. Were shut out against Minnesota in the 2nd game of the year. Also got shut out in the middle game against Kentucky. They've played a very, very difficult schedule, have struggled at times to score runs. The pitching staff has performed up to par for a lot of these games. 2-1 on Fry. Aiden, 1 for 3. A couple of punch-outs. It's been a theme. These CBU arms can generate a lot of swing and miss. They've done so today. There's a swing and a miss to even the count up at 2-2 when you factor in Malky's 3 Ks in the 8th inning. Lancer arms have struck out 14 St. John's hitters. Carlson deals a 2-2. It's outside. The goal coming in today was to see which arms that don't get a ton of work typically could Gary Adcock trust. Looper in on the hands. It finds the glove of Ramirez for out number 1. It's a good problem to have, but the answer is he can trust all of them, at least if you judge those arms on their work today. No runs allowed, just 6 hits combined. No Lancer arm allowed more than 1 hit today. The only guy that did not allow any was the starter, actually, Sam Burgess, who threw a 1-2-3 first. Everyone else has allowed at least a hit. Not at least, exactly 1 hit. A hit against Ryan Palmer, 1 hit against Luis Becerra, a hit against Cody Smathers, a hit against Carson Olson, a hit against Andrew Rudd, and a hit last inning by Adam Agresti against Michael Mauke. But they've stranded a lot of base runners. 9 stranded for St. John's. Had that stretch from the 2nd to 5th inning where they stranded 8 runners aboard. Couldn't get the big hit today. Mansour ahead of Carlson, 3-1. Fouls it back to the screen. It's gone as according to plan for California Baptist. Got their ace some work, an inning in relief, that being Mauke, who looked really sharp. Fighting Mansour, he fouls another off. The offense did enough, picked up some clutch hits in spots where they needed to. Extended at bat for Mansour. Another 3-2. Carlson deals. Up the middle, charging Toth. He dives and made the grab. What a play by Diesel Toth out in center field. Couple of diving or sliding plays for the California Baptist outfield. That play by Toth. And then you had the McFeely sliding grab a couple innings ago. So in addition to stellar pitching, getting some really good play from their defense as well. A recipe for winning games, and they've done a lot of that this season. Coming into today's game, 23-5, well on their way and out away from improving to 24-5, heading into WAC play. The final man they have to retire, Luis Rodriguez, and Carlson has fallen behind him 2-0. Rodriguez has 1 of 6 St. John's hits, a single that came in the 5th inning. All 6 hits for St. John's today singles. They have gone without an extra base hit. In back-to-back contests, the only extra base hit for the Johnnies this series was the Sean McMillan home run in Game 1. 2-1 the count, Rodriguez. 3-1. Looking to flip it back to the top of the order in the 5th time through. John LeGrande hoping he can see Carlson. 3-1. Fouled back, and the Lancers are a strike away. Carlson looking to put the finishing touches on a series sweep. He misses with the breaking ball. The Johnnies are not dead just yet. A walk for Luis Rodriguez. And here comes Gary Adcock. Carlson will not be the one to finish off this series, they'll turn to their 9th arm of the game. It started with a left-handed arm for California Baptist. They'll try to finish it off with the lefty, Tepper. Cameron Tepper, in his second season with the Lancers, 18 innings, almost all of them in relief. LeGrande lifts a fly ball, shallow right, backtracking Castelli at second. He makes the play, and that will do it. Tepper gets his man, the lefty in LeGrande, and finishes off a series sweep of St. John's. The final score in the finale, 4-0. Couple clutch hits for the Lancers throughout the game. Cole Hansen RBI single. Diesel Toth RBI single. They got the solo homer and a 2-run eighth for Ben Castelli. The Lancers improve to 24-5 as they kick off WAC play next week. The Johnnies, St. John's, fall to 10-17. They got a midweek against Wagner before they start Big East play. A tough series for them. The Bats just could never quite get going. We appreciate you hanging with us on this Sunday afternoon. For our producer and camerawoman, Alexia Virala, I'm Sam Cinder. California Baptist winners in the finale.